Hello, it is a new video and today I'm bringing you my September haul. Now, this is quite a big haul. I went to America. That's all I think I need to say. I had access to Barnes & Noble and Target. Need I say more? No. I did not get any ebooks or audiobooks. The only ebooks I got were Kindle Unlimited, which I don't count because they are just like library books. So we're going to go straight in with the book box books. So I actually got all three of them this month. So first up is the Illumicrate. I know some international orders haven't gone out yet. So if you don't want to see what the September Illumicrate book looks like, then maybe like look away for like 20 seconds or something, or until I like say you can look again, because I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm going to show it now. It is this one. I don't want to say what it is in case there are people looking away, but it is beautiful and I love it, and now I've put it away. So I'm actually really excited for that one. It sounds really good. I hadn't actually read the synopsis before, so yeah. And then I got both Fairy Loots, so I'll show off the YA one first. So the YA book was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Again, a beautiful edition. I'm obsessed with this, but my favourite part is if you take the dust jacket off. It's got like a fabric-y type hardback and it is stunning. So very happy with that. And then the Fairy Loot Adult only came the other day, but it is stunning as well. And it is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. Look at those edges. Did this one have? Yes, this one has that under the dust jacket. I can't talk tonight. What is wrong with me? But I'm also very excited for this one. I'm a bit annoyed that height wise it doesn't match my other two Adrienne Young books, which were also Fairy Loot editions. It's very frustrating, but oh well, I haven't read any of them. Shocking, I know. And then I technically have one gifted. So Jem was getting rid of some books and I really wanted a physical copy of this book because I had the ARC a couple of years back when it first came out and didn't get around to getting a finished copy, and Jem just wanted postage for it. So that is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. I loved this book when I read it. It was so cute and I needed a finished copy because I love this book. Okay. Next up, we're going to go for pre-orders. Then I'm going to show you everything that came from America. So with the pre-orders, I have been unusually lucky in the sense that all but one of the things I pre-ordered have actually arrived fairly on time. And I wasn't charged for anything else that then didn't get sent out yet. So the only one that I ended up cancelling my pre-order and ordering it with Forbidden Planet because they had it in stock ready to ship and it's already been dispatched. So I cancelled my Waterstones pre-order, and that was This Savage Song, which will be in next month's haul at this stage. So pre-orders, got quite a few. I don't know why I do this to myself. But first up we have Timberdark by Darren Cholton. I haven't actually read Wranglestone because this is the sequel to Wranglestone. It's a duology. I haven't read Wranglestone, but look at those edges. I couldn't resist that when I saw that on Waterstones. And I do genuinely think I'm going to love this series. So, yeah. Next up, we have Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. Mcmanus. Now, I know what you're probably thinking if you know me, but Becca, you've literally read 2 of Karen M. Mcmanus's books. Liked them, but haven't picked up any of her others, even though you own them all. And my response to that is yes, but I like having the matching sprayed edges for all of them. So I have to pre-order them to get those sprayed edges. And this is also a signed copy, which is pretty cool. Although they put it in wonky. Like, whoever was in charge of stickering these should lose that responsibility from their job and be put on a different job that doesn't involve putting stickers in books, because they did it wonky and I don't like it. You might think I'm being harsh, but it is a pet peeve of mine, and it's gonna frustrate the hell out of me knowing that it's wonky. Next up is one that I am so incredibly excited to read, and that is Amari and the Great Game by Bibi Alston. This again is a signed copy. I've had this pre-ordered like forever, and it matches my copy of Amari, because I was in the very, very like short run of people that got the pretty one, that pretty hardback of the first book, and now I have the pretty one of the second book to match it, which makes me very happy. I like this a lot. Next up, we have the anniversary edition of Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th anniversary edition. Obviously, Lady Midnight came out last year, and I believe Queen of Air and Darkness will be, with the matching one, will be coming out next year. But this has a bonus story and a letter from Cassandra Clare, and I haven't read the bonus story yet, but I have looked at what the name of the deleted scene from Lord of Shadows is. Oh wait, no, that was a different one. Turn the page to read a deleted scene from Lord of Shadows featuring Emma and Julian. That is not the... Oh no, this is the short story. It's Emma's First Kiss, featuring Emma and a character who you'll find out about if you read the books. They're not... they are an important character. Oh, they're not really, but I like the character. And I'm going to stop talking about this book. Next up, I'm not happy that this is a different size to my other hardbacks by this author, but it is Wolfsong by TJ Clune, and it's this gorgeous sprayed edge edition, which I'm a little bit obsessed with. But this is the signed exclusive as well, so I have no idea when I'm going to read this. I still have not read Under the Whispering Door, because I am a terrible person. And then the final pre-order is one that, again, I haven't read the book before this. I've read the first book in the series and loved it, but then I haven't read the second book, and this is the third book. It is Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Yeah, I haven't. I need to read, and it's got that underneath. Yeah, I need to read Harrow and Nona. I remember what happens in Gideon. I don't need to reread Gideon, because I actually remember basically everything that happens. But I just haven't got around to reading Harrow. It's a little bit intimidating. So yeah. And then the rest of the books. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. One of them I technically didn't get in the US. I got in Heathrow Airport before we left the UK, but it still counts as holiday books. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I have reasons for some of these. We're gonna go into it. So let's get stuck in. First and foremost, the first 4 books in the Ice Planet Barbarian series by Ruby Dixon. So we have Ice Planet Barbarians, Barbarian Alien, Barbarian Lover, and Barbarian Mine. I've been reading these on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to continue reading them initially on Kindle Unlimited, because I'm really enjoying that. But I wanted these pretty paperbacks, because also they're floppy, unlike the aliens. Anyway, yeah, moving on. The first day we were there, it wasn't the first day we were there. It was like the third day we were there. We went to Walmart and I picked up Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood and the reason I did this was because this is the UK paperback. It's smaller. I actually have the US of Love Hypothesis, which matches. Look how pretty they look. So yeah, I got the Walmart edition of Love on the Brain. Next up, There is Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. I saw this and thought, oh, it's a book about food. Is it a romance? I looked at the back and it's like, yes, it's a romance. So I was like, yeah. And I'm actually pretty sure this is one that I don't know if it quite went on to my anticipated releases, but I did see it when I was looking for anticipated releases. Or like looking for ideas for anticipated releases, and this is like a really short book. It's literally like 303 pages or something, so 306 pages. So yeah, it looks cute. Next up is the one that I got from the Heathrow airport, and that is To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mays. This is literally her childhood crush became a movie star. Now he's set to play the leading role in a story she wrote about him. If you know my reading taste lately, this is it. Next up, I don't really have any excuse for this one. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. We're not going to talk about how many editions of this book I've got. And I'm actually going to be getting another one in December. Because there were 3 different editions of Pride and Prejudice in Barnes & Noble that I saw. But I was like, I need to limit myself to just one. One because of the money and one because of the weight in my suitcase. So I got this one, and then Liv got me another one as a Christmas present, but I'm not allowed it until December. So I came back from Florida with 2 new editions of Pride and Prejudice, but I actually think I'm going to physically read this edition when I finally eventually do my reread, because the writing is actually acceptable size for me to be able to read it. So, and it's floppy. So yeah, this is actually my 15th edition of Pride and Prejudice. I've not counted the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, or the Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe, obviously, because those 2 aren't. I have included the Pride and Prejudice manga and graphic novel in that. Yeah, moving on. Next up, I have a good reason for this. It's Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shia Earnshaw. I don't think this one's being released in hardback in the UK. And I love Shia Earnshaw. Like, I loved The Wicked Deep. I love Winterwood. And I am, if you don't know, I didn't actually do this on purpose. I've been to see Wicked today and wanted to wear something green. But this is my Oogie Boogie jumper. Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my all-time favourite films ever. And I'm really excited for this. And especially seeing as it is Shia Earnshaw writing it, because I know I really like her writing. So I'm really excited for this. I really wanted to put this in this month's TBR, but if you've watched my TBR, we know that's not happening. But there is at least one prompt that this will fit on Chloe's readathon next month, which is the West End readathon. I will leave her linked below because I'm so excited for that readathon. But yeah, next up, again, this is a good reason. It's The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. Now, I have Aiden Thomas's other 2 books in US hardback because they're not coming out in hardback in the UK. So I was like, this was one of the ones I specifically went into Barnes & Noble wanting to get. And I managed to get not only The Sunbearer Trials, but the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I think the exclusive edition just means that it's a slightly different cover. I think it's a different colour. I'm not sure actually, but it's got the little symbol, like the other 2 books have got little symbols, and the end papers are a match. But I'm just really excited for this. I absolutely love Cemetery Boys. I haven't read Lost in the Neverwoods yet because I'm a terrible person who doesn't actually read books. I just buy them for the fun of it. But yeah, excited to have the hardback to match the other 2. Next up is another good reason. I got The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is not the Barnes & Noble edition. This is just the standard US edition. I really like the black, whereas the Barnes & Noble edition is a slightly different colourway. But when I got Once Upon a Broken Heart, it was the Owlcrate edition. I didn't want to pay out for the Owlcrate edition. And I'm also not a massive fan of the colourway. I think it's similar to the Barnes & Noble one. I could be wrong. But I really love this cover. So this still matches my Owlcrate edition of the first book. So it'll go here. This shelf's going to need to be rearranged because I'm going to have the Fairy Loot edition of this as well when it eventually arrives. So yeah. And also this is on my TBR for October, so I'm not putting it back there because it's got to go back on my TBR cart. Next up was one I didn't plan on getting, but that was because I did not realise this author had another book out. And that is The Inheritance of Orchidia Divina by Zoraida Cordova. I loved Incendiary. I have Illusionary, but I haven't read it yet because this is me, of course I haven't. And I also have another one, Labyrinth Lost, I think. But they had both the hardback and paperback in Target, and I prefer the cover. Like, the cover of the paperback is beautiful, but there's just something about this cover I really love. So I got it, and it was 30% off. Next up was one of the reasons I wanted to go into Barnes & Noble, and that's Forging Silver into Stars by Brigid Kemmerer. I have all of Brigid Kemmerer's books in UK paperback, but then the Cursebreaker series, I have them all in US hardback. So I wanted to get this while I was out there, save me having to hunt around for it. But what I didn't realise, this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive, but that, in this case, means there's special content. And I had a look at the special content and I'm really excited to read it, but obviously I can't until I've read this book in case there's spoilers. So yeah, I'm so excited. I don't think there's anything underneath the... Oh, there is. There is. So yeah, I was very happy to get this, and it was the last one on the shelf. It is a little bit battered, but that might actually be from being in my hand luggage on the way home. I have 3 left. The next one is the final one I went there with the intention of getting, and that was This Wicked Fate by Kailyn Byron. This is the sequel, obviously, to This Poison Heart. Look at that. I love This Poison Heart, and I have the Owlcrate hardback and the Fairy Loot hardback. So I wanted to get a US hardback to match the Owlcrate one because I have ordered the Fairy Loot one to match the Fairy Loot one. So I got this. It was a close call. I actually nearly forgot to add it to my list. And then I saw it and I was like, I needed to add that to my list, so I picked it up. And then the final 2 I saw in Target, and there was no way I was walking out of there without them. And that is Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. It's a Star Wars book. This is set, I think, after Rogue One. No, it's set after Return of the Jedi, but before The Force Awakens. So yeah, I'm very excited to read that. And then the final one is also a Star Wars one, and it is The Princess and the Scoundrel by Beth Revis. It's Han and Leia. So of course, I think again this is set, yeah, this is set after Return of the Jedi, but before The Force Awakens, obviously, because Han and Leia. Obviously. I mean, it's obvious if you're a fan of Star Wars, or at least know the basics of Star Wars. Anyway, these were 30% off, I had to. That was the running theme for Florida. Oh, it's 30% off, I have to. Oh, it's 30% off, I have to. Oh, it's 20% off, I have to. Oh, it's on my list, I have to. That was literally the basis for that entire book shopping trip. But that is everything. I definitely feel like I've missed something, but I know I haven't because I wrote everything down. And this is everything that was written down. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think I should prioritise any of these. Whether I do is another matter, but I am taking part in a readathon in November that's got a lot of prompts, a lot of varied prompts. So you never know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.